I'm Julia, and I'm recording my response to CSC118 Module 1. I was unaware of most of the aspects of computer history that I learned in the module. I did not know who Charles Babbage was and how he came up with the first plans for a computer with the design of the difference engine in 1847. I was also not aware of who Alan Turing was and his amazing contributions in World War II in decoding the Nazis' computer codes, which provided their submarines with instructions of where to go. Virtually every topic discussed in the module was new to me. Further, I had not ever heard of the IBM Watson or Blue Gene L supercomputers. The IBM Watson supercomputer was something that I knew nothing about prior to this module. I learned that the supercomputer is a question-answering system capable of understanding and answering questions in natural language as opposed to constructed or formal languages that are used to program computers themselves. In my research, I found that David Ferrucci was the principal investigator who led the team of researchers and engineers from 2007 to 2011 in the development of the Watson supercomputer. Watson went on to compete and subsequently win a series of Jeopardy games competing against two of Jeopardy's most famous champions for a grand prize of $1 million, which IBM later donated to charity. In my research of IBM Watson, I came across a source which elaborated on 5 impressive things that the supercomputer can do: diagnosing cancer, fighting cybercrime, personalizing meal suggestions and recipes, personal shopping, and empowering driverless cars. Among these, I find the first to be the most fascinating and astounding. Watson was put to the test at the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York City by making clinical decisions on the diagnosis and treatment of lung cancer in patients. The supercomputer has proven itself to be capable of outperforming humans in several categories already, and now cancer diagnosis is one. One source divulged that in 2013, Watson was already able to search through millions of patient medical records at a rate of 800 million pages per second. The IBM Blue Gene L supercomputer was designed to help biologists understand the process and complexity of protein folding and its significance to gene development. Scientists and engineers began development of Blue Gene L in 1999, and it was revealed in 2004. One of the main goals of the project, aside from contributing to the study of the human genome and gene development, was to improve the size and efficiency of these supercomputers. According to IBM's previous architecture of supercomputers would require buildings the size of a football field to store them and enough electricity to power a mid-sized town. Blue Gene improved on both of these conundrums and subsequently ranked in the top 500 and Green 500 lists of the most powerful and power-efficient supercomputers in the world. The supercomputer has operating speeds in the petaflops range, which translates to 10 to the 15th floating point operations per second. Upon its debut, Blue Gene L used 131,000 processors to perform 280 trillion operations per second. As written on IBM's website, a single scientist with a calculator would have to work non-stop for 177,000 years to perform the operations that Blue Gene could do in 1 second. The reach of the Blue Gene supercomputer can be felt far and wide across several fields of study today. Quoting again from the IBM website, Blue Gene systems have helped map the human genome, investigated medical therapies, simulated radioactive decay, replicated brain power, flown airplanes, pinpointed tumors, predicted climate trends, and identified fossil fuels. Much more progress lies ahead. Since the development of Blue Gene L, Blue Gene P and Q have been developed, which have both built and expanded upon the tremendous achievements of their predecessor, Blue Gene L. After learning about and analyzing the information in Module 1 and researching two of IBM's most famous supercomputers, I have come to the conclusion that I knew very little about the rich history of computer science prior to this course. I was not aware of how deep the roots of computer development are and how many brains and ideas went into the development of the modern computer. I did know that computers were conceived and ultimately developed in part to combat the inherent nature of human error in computation. I did know that the first computers were originally so big they could fill the entirety of buildings and could not be moved easily. I think that the greatest reason for not being aware of the vast majority of computer history is my own lack of research into the topic. Prior to this course, I had never really taken the time to conduct my own research and find out more about the development of the modern computer. I believe that part of the reason for my own lack of research into computer history is due to my age. I'm 20 years old, born in 1998. The first programmable computer, as we learned in the module, was the Z1, developed in 1936. The World Wide Web was created in 1989, almost a decade before I was born. Since the time of my birth, and certainly since my adolescence, I have lived with computers in my everyday life. My first phone was an iPhone, not a flip phone or one of its dinosaur equivalents. Therefore, computers have not been a curious, futuristic part of my entire life. I believe that since those older than me have lived through many of the groundbreaking developments of modern-day computers, they are equipped with a richer understanding of computer history and some of its key aspects. For example, those that lived through World War II may be very well aware of Alan Turing and his contributions to beating the Germans and computer science. In 2011, I was just 13 years old in middle school. Those that were adults probably very well remember the exact moment when history was made, when Watson beat Brad Rutter and Ken Jennings in Jeopardy! The interesting paradox lies here. My lack of knowledge in computer history is not overshadowed by my immense understanding of how to operate computers, smartphones, smartwatches, and almost any other modern technology. While those that are older than me probably have a richer understanding of the development of computers and how we got to where we are today, many of them also struggle more in the actual use of these computers. This irony is a product of our respective generations and how quickly technology has advanced in our modern world. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed watching.